Get it. What's going on out there?
Go ahead.
Hey.
On a mission for the money, I'm gonna be legendary. These suckers be talking, I'm never worried. I keep them things like the military. Pray I never have to use it. My heart and my soul and never use it. My eyes on my goals, I'm in my own lane as I swear on this road. Trying to make this time better than before, man. I'm gonna be lit on the low, man. Don't brag or boast in mine, but I took an album, turned that to a clothing line. I swear I'm in over the grind, on some shit that'll blow your mind. And yeah, they can hate it, but they can't ignore the signs. I put everything on the line. I am a
Let's stop that right there. I'm gonna stop that right there, man. Listen, you don't know what that is. If you haven't heard that before, that is Billy Slums, legendary. He's a local artist around here in Macon. Him and a lot of others have been putting on for the Macon music scene. Making music is where it started. You know what I'm saying? Macon is home to Otis Redding. Macon is home to what's my man name? Little Richard.
Richard, yeah.
Forgot about that.
Macon James Brown came through here too.
Yeah, James Brown came through here.
He's not from Macon, but he did a lot of stuff in Macon.
Yeah, he came up in Macon, you know.
Yeah.
Young Jeezy, he ain't from Macon, he from Hawkinsville, but he also came up. Let's quit the small talk. You know what I'm saying? This is the very first episode of Mike Ryder Talks, and I got a special guest on here for my very first episode. Is somebody who I admire on the business tip, somebody who inspires me, somebody who helps me out in my personal life. He's a philanthropist around here in the city. He is when I say businessman, you remember when Jay-Z said, I'm a businessman, not a businessman. You know what I'm saying? This man has countless of businesses that he runs and operates on a day-to-day basis. I'm speaking about none other than my friend, Andreas Cooke. What's going on, my man?
What's up, man?
You can call it, man, up here trying to get to it on this gloomy Monday. You see what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, so, like the little hot sweltering Monday.
I'll take that versus, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, man, what's good with you though, man? You getting to it today?
Yeah, I already been at it this morning, and then I got other stuff I got to do later on. You know, I got my mixer that I'm doing Friday, so I've been doing last minute preparations for that. So, yeah, always getting to it.
What would your mixer consist of?
Well, the mixer is, you know, I do these annually business mixers. So this is second year. Last year I did it at my office. Consists of having speakers, other people who got like brick and mortars, and they tell their stories. It's a Q&A, DJ. I got an artist performing this year. You know, everybody swapping business cards, getting swag bags, just like a real mixer that, you know, people should be able to go to. And like when you leave, you have contacts, you know what I'm saying? You have established new relationships that you can take forward into the world and do things with. Those are the business mixers that I put on. You know, I don't put on those other type of mixers where people just walk in and they don't feel like they got anything out of it.
Okay, so where can I get information about this mixer? Where can it be found?
The business mixer, I've been posting this on Facebook under the Banked Out Radio Show because I'm doing it under that particular brand. So the Banked Out Radio Show page on Facebook, it's right there in the post. I did a Facebook ads run with it, campaign. I think it's over now, but it's still there. A lot of interest in it. People basically gonna show up at the last minute. You know how they do it around here. But last year I had like 50 something people at my office. This year I had to open it up to a more open concept because my office is split up into different office spaces. So it was cool, but then when the main event of all the different people talking, because that's the main event of it, we're all gathered and people are trying to watch and things of that nature and all those bodies, it was getting hot, even with the AC on. So I had to go and get a more open space, like an event space. So it's going to be at Jaco's, actually Tiffany Tillman's space. In the same shopping plaza as like Ollie's and Heaven's Restaurant and all that. You just go to the left.
Off of Mercer over there. Okay. And while you're on, I know you mentioned the Banked Out Radio Show page. For anybody who's looking at this, anybody who's gonna check this out or whatever, this is the page that he's speaking about on Facebook. Like I said, it's the Banked Out Radio Show. As you can see myself, I am following that page. And hold on, I'm having a little technical difficulty. Hold on, we're gonna get that pulled back up. Hold on 1 second. Hold on, we ain't gonna do that, man.
I just saw the page.
No, we're gonna. I try to make it look a lot better than that. I'm better with that.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I do.
So with the Banked Out Radio Show page, that is home to where they can get in touch with you to start doing business on what level? Like what is this all about?
Well, let's see. The Banked Out Radio Show was a platform created initially for artists, but then I expanded it to businesses, entrepreneurs, brands, events, things of that nature because of the amount of followers I have on there. There's over 11,000 followers. But then when I started expanding that and started doing the radio version as well, with that, you know, people started like paying for advertising and stuff of that nature. Oh, no, somebody, my bad. So as you see, like those right there, that's the mixer. Those other ads right there, those are people paying me to do their posts.
Okay.
So I have 3 different clients, and I've been sharing, and they pay for posts. I have different packages with that.
Okay.
But the business mixer, like I said, is the event for people to really get together and see what a real mixer is supposed to be like. It's the second one. I'm gonna do them annually. I did it last year on July 3rd, and I had that many people turn out.
Okay, and like it says on here, this is the second annual one. So like you say, you did one last year. This one is going to be bigger and better. August the 28th, which is this coming up Friday. It's at 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock. It's at 3555 Mercer University Drive. If anyone knows about Macon, it's right over here across the street from the old Macon Mall. General admission is $25. VIP is $80. And like you said, this is going to show people how to really do a business mixer. And I may come over to that. I got to show some love. Like I've always told you before, I got to show love. I got to. Outside of that business mixer, man, let me ask you about some products. Because I see this right here. This isn't your product right here, is it?
No, that's Exo Tiger Lily. That's Kiana Sweet. She's the owner of that, so she has natural skincare line. So with that, because she has skin conditions, so I interviewed her a while back. I would say it's probably been about going on 2 years or something like that. So you know that's what I saw, and I realized that doing this platform of interviewing people, you know, you get to already build a rapport with your interviewees. So if they have businesses, it's nothing to sit there and go back to them and be like, hey, okay, I got X amount of followers, you know, I do the marketing. Let me, you know what I'm saying, help put your business out there. Because I've discovered and I've seen time and time again where we as Black business owners don't want to pay for marketing. We just want to think we can post on social media and that's going to be like fantastic and we're going to blow up or whatever case may be. And I'm like, it doesn't work that way. But when other people see that you're posting on a third party's behalf to the first party, it gives them more prestige and credibility in what they're doing. Because now the network of people who see it is expanded. And if it is the same, some of the same people, then they take you more seriously as well. It's the same thing with doing a podcast, radio show. You value what you're doing when you bring them onto your platform. And that's what I've learned the rest of the years. I've had people come on my show, and they done got Twitter followers, they done got sales before they left. Their recognition jumped up to where, you know, different opportunities came to them within a matter of weeks or whatever the case may be. Because who else is going to sit there and, like, you know, put you on their show? Most of the time when people build platforms, they build a platform, but they try to make that platform big based off of people who already have a following. I did mine the opposite way. I didn't care if you had a follower or not. I was gonna still give you the opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to let your voice be heard. So I built my platform off of just interviewing people, and a good amount of the people don't even know them.
Yeah, I noticed that, like, with a lot of the people who I see on your page myself, it don't be well-known people. It be like people like you and I who aren't who aren't the most popular people in the city.
Yeah.
But if we're doing business, if we're gonna do good business, it shouldn't be about popularity. It should be about the quality of business that you do and how you conduct that business. And it's gonna speak for you. But a lot of times we get caught up on, like I said, popularity, the high school ways that everybody have yet to grown out of.
Yeah.
So, like you said, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but like I said, you know what I'm saying? You have a different style of conducting business and helping other people grow. And that's just one of the many talents that you have. And with that being said, because you're a man of many talents, what businesses do you own?
I think at the height, I had 5 on paper. I had 2 record labels, a digital station, the council of business, cook shop, all 6, and a production company. But I let one of the record labels, we let it dissolve. Actually, me and Billy Sloan were partners with one other individual with Graffiti Music Group. But, you know, I know going into it that not all businesses are going to hit a certain threshold. Some of them just live for a couple of years and then, you know, you dissolve it and it's okay. That's okay. It's just a part of a business, is like its own product itself. Some of them grow, some of them get extremely big, and then some of them die off, and then some of them, like, people sell them as an exit strategy. With the video production company, especially when you start in small businesses with other individuals, that one we let it dissolve because and I still work with him, Sims. At the time, he had to move to McDonald's, so his availability wasn't the same availability as mine. Like, because I've set myself up in a position, I don't have to be at my business 24/7, or I don't have to be there 12 hours, 10 hours, or things like that. I actually prefer only working like 3 hours a day. The rest of my time.
Smart man. Hey, and you know what? I'm trying to get like that because I ain't gonna lie, I'm a hard-working man. I don't work all day, but I do a lot of physical labor and I do a lot of ripping and running. And like I said, I'm trying not to be like that. Like, I'm trying to, you know, utilize my time wisely. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what it is. Like, you know, because I do a lot of administrative work, a lot of office work, things of that nature. I've set it up to where I get paid a full-time salary just working part-time. And that's like no lie. So I'm like, and I ain't trying to cap or nothing like that. It was hard putting myself in that position. I'm like, it was 3 years straight grinding, like working like 80 hours a week.
Yeah.
No joking, like didn't have no life. Now my life is my business and my kids. And when I go out, like events or whatever, that's business, but it's also like, you know, socializing or whatever at the same time, because I just get to meet new people. I ain't out to, like, you know what I'm saying, to go get drinks or nothing like that. I'm out there to network and to see what I could do. But like yesterday, I shot Canvas and Conversation, which is another project in this 3rd season. We shot 4 episodes. And at Twine's spot, Blazing Smoke, shot right there, also in the same plaza.
It's in the same plaza from where the business mixer is going to be this Friday.
Right next door too. Right next door. I had, what was it? It was at least 12 of us in there, and everybody was just showing up. And I was the only one who knew everybody. I was introducing people to one another. They were getting contacts and stuff if they wanted to. And then they all got a sense of like the show. So now the show, as it comes out in October, well, that is the release dates that I want. We'll see. But I'm trying to shoot for an October release. They'll be more invested, and like, because they've had that experience, they're gonna talk about it and things of that nature. So I'm always including people and stuff. I'm always doing like a lot of different projects. There's a couple of projects I'm working on right now that I can't talk about due to I'm just like a producer of it. I'm not the creator of it. So, but they're going to be released here within the next couple of months. And there's always, you know, some stuff I'm working on, but officially on paper, I think I have 4 businesses, but I have brands too. So like the Banked Out Music Group, is excuse me, is my label. But under that family brand, I have Banked Out Radio Show, which is, the podcast radio show. I have Making Bib FM, which is its own entity, but I haven't put it on paper yet just because I'm waiting to see if it's going to go into the black where I can get into the green. Or I have other opportunities that haven't materialized yet, but they're just sitting there, waiting on the other individuals. So I might even just take that whole entity in a different direction. So that's why I haven't really done anything with it as far as putting it on a business structure. But then I also had a Banged Out News Network where I was highlighting different black businesses, doing like a CNN type style of footage and coverage. I never got to shoot season 2 of that. It's still on Facebook under that page. But I'll get back to it or whatever eventually. Let's see. And then I have the Cook Shop, which is the hemp.
I've been waiting on you to get right.
Oh, to get to that one. Yeah.
That is my thing.
Yeah.
I like when I call you, it ain't.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I need to do some products from the Cook Shop, and I usually get like myself. I usually get the CBD oils.
Yeah.
Man, that stuff works good, man. That stuff works good.
I tell people all the time, you want quality, you know what I'm saying? You got to put quality into it. So, but that was actually my wife is the one who like started it and brought me in per se as far as like the name. Then I did all the paperwork for filing and stuff like that because I was used to doing it. And she's actually the first one who showed me how to do all that stuff too, though. I just ran with it. Like I enhanced the whole experience.
Right.
Because, she's a self-motivator like myself, self-starter, go and get things done. She just always be behind the scenes. Now, with the stuff she's doing, she has no choice but to be out there in front, which is, I'm enjoying this whole process of seeing her do that.
Yeah, because she's not in person, like the person who likes to be on the front line. She's more of a behind the scenes type.
No, yeah, because people with the Cook Shop, it's both of us. We both own it. We co-owners of it. Technically, she's CEO status. I am I don't even remember what I put on there. Maybe chief operating officer or something like that. I don't know.
You're the COO, my man. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And now I didn't even care that, what I'm saying, she's the CEO or whatever. I'm like, I already got companies I'm CEO of, so that title to me doesn't even really mean anything. I'm like, because you can go open a business, be the CEO. I think some people do get stuck on that. But the thing I tell people, though, I'm a glorified salesperson.
Okay, Mr. Salesman, let me hear some of these products y'all got. Matter of fact, if you don't mind, I like to do my little screen thing. If you don't mind,
go ahead. You can go to the Cook Shop. You can go to the website or the Facebook page, either or. Definitely, if you go to the Facebook page, you can see some of those reviews where people were saying the same thing. And but yeah, as far as like products, we have everything from the teas to the coffee. Let's see here, the oils, like you said, the soaps, lip balms. What else? Massage oils, the hemp-rets, where they're like cigarettes, but just hemp-rets. Just got lighters done the other day.
Your lighter?
Yeah, those are lighters. I had a Pretty Hustle right there. That's why I did that tag. Those are Cook Shop lighters now. They're just wrapped or whatever, but it's for promo. So
gotcha.
Pay for the lighters, whatever. So what I'm gonna do with that? Since I changed the hemp-rets to black paper instead of the raw paper, I'm gonna do like you get a free lighter if you buy 2 packs of the hemp-rets. So
free lighter with 2 packs. And when you say the hemp-rets, is this the hemp-rets right here?
Yeah. That is the #1 seller product that we have, and it was not the #1 seller in 2018 when we started. It became the #1 seller in late in 2019. I saw where it was gonna be the #1 seller. It was like, I think maybe it's outsold everything else that last quarter, but 2020, #1 seller.
What are those for people who aren't familiar with hemp or the CBD products? What are these here? Because these, to me, if I was a regular guy, these would just look like black cigarettes. That's it.
Yeah. Like I have some people call them hemp cigs or something like that. I call them hemp press because I think it just sticks and I like the name. But it's basically hemp. Actually, a couple of different strands. I mix them together, along with rose petals, stevia, and mullein, which is a leaf that's good for bronchitis and things of that nature. But basically a tube, just like any other cigarette paper. Like you have some people who like to roll their own cigarettes and you put them in a machine. I was like, I wanted something to compete against cigarettes. And when I was talking with Andrea, I was like, man, I was like, because I had pre-rolls. Those are flowers too. We'll get into that in a moment. I had these big old pre-rolls and they're king size. And a lot of people didn't want to like keep smoking them because when you put it out, once you don't have to use a whole lot of it. But when you put it out, it gets a little bit harder to relight it, or, you know what I'm saying, you lose a little bit of the product or whatever by trying to stuff it out. So I was like, you know what? If we could find something like cigarette tubes or whatever, and Andrea found some, so then we went at it, and I started making them, and then I started selling them. I gave them away. I gave a lot of them away at first. I was like, look, just try it. You know what I'm saying? I just want you to try it. People were trying it, and they were loving it. So then I started selling it. And it is the number one. It sells itself. Like I don't even have to really promote. Every time I post, I get a sale. Actually, not even a sale, multiple sales. Other people post videos. I don't ask them to post videos or nothing like that. They'll just post videos smoking it, and then they'll tag me. They're like, go hit up Andreas at the cook shop, and then I start getting sales.
That product speaks for itself, buddy.
Yeah, it does, and it's high quality. And the thing about it, when we sourced our hemp, because our hemp comes from Oregon and California. All of it was coming from Oregon at one point, but then one of the ladies in Oregon, she moved to California so she could focus on medical marijuana as well. Okay. Because she's doing both sides of the plant. She's doing the hemp side and the marijuana side, or people like to say the weed side. So with that, you know what I'm saying, we made sure we always got quality buds. Like when they come in, I look at them, I inspect them, I try them myself. And we don't put anything out there that we wouldn't feel great with our name behind it. So that's why I call my wife quality control. So she won't let me sell anything that's not up to par. So that's what we've been known for. That and the customer service too. People love the fact that they just call or pull up within hours or whatever the case may be. I get right back to them. They were like, "Wow, thank you for the quick response." I'm like, why not? I'm like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, when people ring, when my phone ring, yeah, exactly. When my phone ring, or whenever my phone notification or something like that, if it ain't something like wee hours of the night or whatever the case may be, I'm answering it 9 times out of 10. And like, I don't get it. It's like making money is easy. Like, I just wake up like, all right, I'm gonna go make some money, and that's what I do. I wake up and go make some money. Whichever business I want to make it in, you know what I'm saying? One is not hitting that day, then I'll try the other ones, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been able to diversify. But, excuse me. Yeah, sometimes I don't get it with some other people, but I can go on tangents, man. You know what I'm saying? I can just talk forever. So
the hemps are the ones that I just showed. I'm sorry, I done lost my train of thought listening to you. Like, man, I'm into this. But basically, what you're putting inside of these pre-rolls, these hemp-rettes, are basically what I had showed a minute ago, which I will show again, is just a different flower, like you said.
Just the different strands. Like, so I mix them together because we have I think in inventory right now, I can count maybe 7 different strands that I have. So I'm able to mix stuff together, like other companies, or well, I'll say we rather, and then just try different things. But I also put other stuff in there, like rose petals. That's good for inflammation. Okay. Mullein is good for your bronchitis and things of that nature. I have a young lady in Warner Robins. She messaged the cook shop yesterday, because she bought some more. She's like, man, this is my second pack, and I'm off of y'all. She's like, I'm loving this. It's great for my asthma and my bronchitis. I was like, yeah, because of the ingredients that we put in there, and it's not too harsh. So that right there, those are just flowers. That's just 2 strands. That's the Hawaiian Haze and I believe the Wu 5 that I just put on there and let people know, you know what I'm saying? Because I have some people that just like to roll and smoke themselves, which is cool. So I'm going to appeal.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm going to appeal to all the different consumers as much as possible. And I had people hitting me up and they were buying it too. So I have plenty of flour. I also get like the trimmings and the leaves and the cuttings from the plant itself, because you can make product out of that. And people don't realize that stuff as well is still potent too. Actually, we make a lot of stuff out of that, like the oils and things of that nature. You just
Now,
got to.
before you go any further,
Uh-huh.
you know, we do live in Georgia, and weed is not legal in Georgia.
Marijuana is not legal, but hemp is. Hemp is legal across all 50 states. It is no longer on the substance abuse. Not substance abuse. Controlled Substance Act. That was the farm bill that did that in 2000. If I say anything about Trump, that's the only good thing I can say he did. He did not veto that bill. That's the only good thing I can say about him.
Now, like I said, marijuana or weed is not legal here in Georgia, and you put a disclaimer on this post.
I sure did, because people kept. Yeah, I had to, because people kept like, man, it's marijuana. I'm like, no. I'm like, why? First of all, I'm not gonna be stupid like that. Second of all, no, I'm not gonna. This is a company. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, man.
Yeah, people are wild though. So that's why, like, and that's where instant feedback comes in, right? So when I get a post and it starts getting traction and people keep asking me the same question, I'm gonna just go ahead and edit the post and be like, this is not marijuana. I also do it in like how you can go to pages and you can ask questions, frequently asked questions. That's one of the questions in there too. Is this legal? Or how much THC is in here? And it gives you the auto answer, which is, yes, it's legal because of the Farm Bill Act in 2018, blah, blah, blah. It goes into that. Or the amount of THC. Any hemp, no matter the strand, no matter where you buy from in the United States, by weight, it can only have 0.03% THC content in it. That's less than a whole percent. That's a third of a percent. So I always tell people, like, yes, it's going to have THC in it, but first of all, you're not going to get high. The THC that's in there is only going to act as a carrier for the receptors for the CBD to get to your C2 receptors. So no matter how much you consume, you will not get high off of hemp. There is no way scientifically possible to get high. I don't care how much you smoke. And I smoked a lot yesterday. Every time I shoot cannabis conversation, I'm smoking with the guests. I got to smoke with all my guests. So I had 4 guests. So we're all smoking. And I'm smoking like 2-3 different hemp reds at the time. So throughout the interview process. So I smoked a lot of CBD yesterday, a lot of hemp. You would not get high. Now you'll feel relaxed.
You weren't high. So what are the benefits of doing hemp, or like on the medical side? What benefits you from doing hemp?
All the medical benefits you get from like weed, like the relaxation, because weed has CBD in it. People don't realize that. It just has a small amount. Hemp has the flip side. It's the yin and yang approach. It has higher concentrations of CBD. So yes, you're gonna get the relaxation. Your pain is gonna subside. The depression, anxiety, stress, lower your blood pressure. I had people tell me their A1C numbers go down when they go to their doctor and check on for their diabetes. The pain.
Myofibromalgia, I think it is.
Exactly. That. But I'm like, there's a lot of different benefits. I'm like, it's medically, I'm like, oh my goodness, it's got to be at least 200 something plus benefits.
This picture, I don't know if you see the picture I just put on the screen. This only has 6 benefits.
Yeah, that only lists 6.
And you said that there are over 200 benefits.
Yes, there's over 200. So I like to give you like what in a nutshell, right?
Okay.
Hemp, full spectrum hemp, that has all the cannabinoids in it, not just the CBD, because you need the CBG, the CBN, the terpenes, the whole profile of the plant, right? You want to experience the entire plant. They all work in unison with one another. What was the point I was gonna make? Oh, for medical. First of all, cannabis has been around for over 6,000 some years, right? Okay. We have seen the benefits of it. There's been over 30,000 articles written in the medical journals. they have studied cannabis more than they have studied Advil and Tylenol and all that, which only has like 6,000 to 8,000 different medical journals or whatever entries in it. All this stuff that they've been saying about it as far as like bad things, propaganda, I'm like, they've been doing that for hundreds of years now, basically because hemp at its height, when we were growing it as a nation, not only provided you medicinal benefits to use as food, it also gave you clothing, it also gave you shelter. It was also used in textiles and things of that nature. So it's a multi-purpose plant. I'm like, this is the only plant that can feed you, clothe you, shelter you, and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? It can almost meet all your basic needs. But the cotton industry didn't like it. The wood industry didn't like it. The citizens at the time who were using it and high proponents of it were like quote unquote second class citizens. So they were poor and also minorities. So the rich upper class didn't like it. So they wanted to basically try to
like
separate the society. Yeah. So I'm like, he's going through all this this bad negative press. And I'm like, we started Cook Shop because of our daughter who has seizures.
Okay.
That's why we started the business, not because we saw it as a gold mine opportunity, but because we wanted access to more natural way of getting medicine to her that's supplementary to her prescribed medication, because you can't just take her off like she's a minor.
Okay, so with her having seizures, once you introduced CBD to her or hemp.
When we introduced the full spectrum hemp, because like I said, it still had like little small amounts of THC, whatever. Like my wife went and got her she was one of the first group of people in Georgia to get a medical marijuana card or whatever they call it, to be able to have the THC in her system and any particular instrument that has THC up to like 0.05% in it, or it might even be 5%, but it's like a liquid form or something like that. My wife wanted to make sure she was covered on the end, but then we saw that her seizures, the frequency went down dramatically. Two, the severity of the seizure went down. Like, she has all 4 different categories of seizures that you can experience. She has the grand mal one, she has the abscess one, she has the drop seizures, and I can't remember the other name of it, but it's like she's staring off and stuff like that. She can hear you, but she just can't respond.
Basically, like almost like she's paralyzed. Her body's paralyzed, but her mental is still there.
Exactly. Like, you can see it in her eyes when I talk to her and stuff like that, and I can tell when she's coming out of. Even my kids, my 3-year-old right now can tell you when she's having a seizure. And I'm like, we've gotten, you know what I'm saying, so used to it and educated them and things of that nature, that we know how to watch for it. But without introducing him to her, she would have seizures, and it would take her like 20, 30 minutes to recover. If she had a seizure that kept on prolonging after 5 minutes, you have to administer Dilastat or Dilastat or whatever other medication to try to calm that down, which basically is sort of like it's powerful like morphine and all that or whatever. So I'm like, you doing these like different narcotics or something like that, to where I'm like, no, I'm not trying to get her hooked on drugs just because she's seizing or whatever and can't nobody figure out how to make. I'm like, it's a genetic disorder. So to me, it's not going, I don't think it's ever going to go away. I think it will suppress, but I don't think it's ever going to go away. But yeah, we saw the differences in her reaction. And then the doctors, we told them, like, we giving her this, you know what I'm saying? So some of her doctors didn't like it. We didn't really care because you can't do anything because it's not illegal. I'm like, it's not illegal to give it to her. So when it became legal, my wife, she was actually in Vermont at the time, or New Hampshire, for her doctorate, doing her residency. And she ran across a whole field of it, because before then we were buying like the Charlotte's Web and the Haley's Hope and all that, whatever. And sometimes they hit and miss, you know. Like, I think they really be getting a lot of people, but anyway, they don't educate people about but I can go into that, but we don't do that right now.
We ain't got to do that right now.
Yeah, we ain't got to do that right now. But we were spending thousands of dollars a month, right, to get oil.
Okay.
When my wife, like, man, she was talking to the farmers and all that stuff. Like, man, you make this stuff yourself. So she sitting there experimenting. She learned how to make the oil. When she did, that was a wrap. So then they created her creative juices. So she went from making oil to we started infusing it into edibles and stuff. And then she started playing around with the lip balm and the salves. And man, when she did that salve, that was like really took it to a whole.
Tell me you can get hemp delivered to your body in a lip balm.
Yeah, because it's those your skin is your biggest organ, so
right.
you can like I got it in the soap. You get the cannabinoids just by washing your hands and taking a bath and stuff like that. So you can get it delivered however you want it. And then we started doing the teas and coffees and all that. So then once we did that, we started giving it away to family and friends, just letting them try it out. And they were like, man, this shit, whatever y'all do, this shit is gravy. So they loved it. I was like, yeah, we got a business here, Drea. So that's when we started to do this. So we got the best of both worlds. So not only can we provide people for something, but we also give them something that's good for them. I'm like, we don't have any extra, and that's why we emphasize homemade. Yeah, we making this stuff out the kitchen, but I'm like, we use very precautions and all that stuff, whatever, so we won't cross-contaminate stuff. But at the same time, it's the high quality. You can put our oil up against everybody else's oil. We don't come out. We either gonna come out on top or we're gonna tie with them. Some of these other ones, we blow them out the water because one, we can customize oil because there's so many different strands. So, and that's the thing. I'll be like, when I be telling you, I'm like, man, I got, a new batch. You got this particular strand, and that's what we be doing. So, I'm like, I love it. I like the expansion. I like maybe I'm walking up the hallway to let my wife in. I like the fact that I can help people and make money. So it's the best of both worlds.
Gotcha. So let me ask you about this. And you've been speaking a lot about your wife, and like you say, you're about to let her in. Not in the interview, just in the house.
Yeah. Just let her in the house, open the door. Yeah.
Your wife was recently nominated for Philanthropist of the Year, correct? In Macon.
What was that last part?
Your wife was nominated for Philanthropist of the Year for here in Macon, correct? Yes.
She's one of the finalists, and they're going to vote on the 28th. Actually, voting is on the 28th.
Okay. Voting is due on the 28th. She's one of the finalists. The 28th is this Friday, correct?
Yeah, this Friday. Yeah, they're going to open up I don't know how they're doing it, but they're doing it somehow. They're going to do it online where, that's too much sun.
Man, you're good. Because all I can see is the background. Your background is steady, and then it's just you. You look good. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, I don't know how they doing it, but they doing it on the 28th as far as like open up the participation for voting. So I'm excited for her. You know what I'm saying? If she wins, she win. That'll be even more extra gravy for this year because this has been her year. But if she doesn't, I'm still cool with it for her being nominated. You know what I'm saying? So she was nominated by multiple people.
Is this something to do with Macon Magazine?
No, not. It has to do with more of the Central Georgia Community Foundation. They're the ones who run the actual program through it. So Macon Magazine was totally separate. That was a totally separate thing. The Macon Magazine came from because she got nominated for 40 under, 5 under 40.
Is that right here? This is that.
Yeah. Right there in the black, yeah.
So let me ask you something. And I've seen this picture when you posted it and when other people posted it. With this picture, I see a couple people on here that I recognize. I know the lady in the middle. She's one of my best friends, Sister Tanja.
Yeah, Tanja, yeah.
The person on the left of her, who is that?
The person on her left, the guy, or are you talking about
that what I can see on the left, from our side on the left?
Oh, that's Andreas in the black.
Okay, that's your wife on who's the person on the far left? I don't know who that is.
That's Ansley. She's what is she? I think she was in making leadership with Andrea. And then the guy with the glasses, he's a musician. That's I can't remember his name. But I met him a couple of times. He done things with Tiara Ponce. He's a musician and a host and rapper and all that. And then the lady on the right, I've met her, but I don't know that much of her. But I do know she does like websites and things of that nature. Now the leadership issue, I don't know how they came to be as far as the people who were nominated, what were the qualifications and things of that nature. I wasn't privy to that information. I just thought it was pretty cool that, you know what I'm saying, Andrea, basically, this was in fruition because she had told me months earlier, she was like, man, I want to be nominated for 5 Under 40. And she's like, you know, my birthday in October, and I'm turning 40 this year. And I was like, well, hey, if you manifest it, you know what I'm saying, put it out there. You never know what happened, because she has already been making a lot of traction here in the, not just making, but the, I would say, the nonprofit sector, the Middle Georgia area, well, just certain industries, right? So the nonprofit industry, just entrepreneurships industry, because she put herself out there even more. And I'm like, when people, like, she was being called for to help talk about various issues. She's been on other people's Zooms and stuff where they're pulling her in, taking phone calls from political candidates of all different parties. Like, they're all calling her. So
y'all over there in the Cooke household, y'all are working.
Oh yeah, we out here working. You know what I'm saying? She's working, I'm working, we're working together. Yeah, there's things we collaborate on, then there's things we do separately, but we keep pushing one another and we keep supporting things of that nature. So yeah.
So as far as she goes, she's one of the finalists for Philanthropist of the Year for Making Georgia. He's also
I think it's a Black philanthropist, because that's what the program is off. But yeah, based off of all the work, and isn't the philanthropist title isn't just for, like, you know, personal donations and money, what she's done that too, but it's also like, you know, how are you giving back to the community? And she does a lot of nonprofit work that people don't see a face to. They might see a logo, or they might hear about strategic partnerships with multiple companies. And one of hers is a part of it. Like the whole Making Spirit Easier, she was brought into that situation and helped blown that up to where, like, just today, she had a lady come to the office and pick up period supplies. It was 3 big ass boxes that had to put in the lady's van. And the lady was connected to somehow with the Georgia Library or something like that. But she has nurses from the various schools come and get stuff. So I'm like, there's a lot of different projects that she's done. Like Laundry Days, she had reinvigorated that. That was an actual project that she got a grant for. The actual concept started when we was at Fort Valley with her mom. It's basically washing people's clothes. And while you're doing that, you're coming up with solutions for the community, for the problems that they have. And you're inspiring those individuals and giving them the tools to, well, this is how you should, you know what I'm saying, tackle those issues. Andrea brought it back like last year. We got a grant for it. We did like 6 laundry days or 7 of them, something like that. The news caught wind of it, started picking it up to gain traction. Other churches caught wind of it, and they're not even in Macon. They're in Fort Valley and stuff like that. They sending money to keep the program going.
Come on now.
Individuals like Elizabeth McCain, shout out to her. She has a phlebotomy institute and also the McCain Labs on Rocky Creek Road. She caught wind of it, and she donated a lot of stuff. And we had a lot of other people donate stuff too. It's just, you know, some of the individuals, they just stick out to my head because I've known. But yeah, I know, like, we're going to pick it back up again once COVID, you know what I'm saying, starts to cease a little bit.
And, this whole COVID thing, man, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
How you feel about it, man?
Well, like I'm gonna give you the scoop. I ain't told nobody outside really. I caught COVID back in July, where I was, and I didn't find out until after I did the test or whatever. But like, I quarantined myself basically from the kids and all that. It was very interesting because I would read the different symptoms and stuff. And, you know, I have asthma, so I have like underlying health issues that could really affect me.
Right.
But do a lot of other healthy stuff too, though. People know I garden, and people know I'm always like trying to pitch a healthier lifestyle. Now, I'm not the best at it, but I've cut a lot of stuff out that I used to do. And when I went through it, like I had a fever 3 times. It broke. Andre helped me break the fever 3 different times. I did the vaping steam where I boiled water. I put some citrus, actually did a lime. I cut up a lime, put it in there, and inhaled it for like 20 minutes. Did the breathing. They got the AC unit fixed, so I'm about to kick this thing on. I have different pills that I took, and I ate more fruits and vegetables, and Andrea made me soup and things of that nature. So the COVID situation is real, right? But I can't say that. I think that if people just do what you're supposed to do, like eat more fruits and vegetables, take some supplements if you need to, especially if you know your diet is that one of where it can need some minerals and vitamins. You know, do things like that. Wash your hands and stuff like that. Like, I was washing my hands and stuff, but I'm like, I could have got it from anybody, anywhere, whatever, because I'm always out and about. It's not going anywhere anytime soon, so like that's why I'm still doing my event. Just be more precautious, because there are viruses out there. But I'm like, this is like when AIDS and stuff like came out, or HIV. People were like all scared and things of that nature. And now, yeah. So I'm like, you just gotta take everything with like a little grain of salt. But also, like, I didn't go to the hospital. I wasn't like, oh, I can't breathe or whatever, even though I have asthma. I just did what I thought was necessary to heal myself. And just continued on that path. Now, I did go get tested just to confirm.
The test came back positive.
Huh?
And the test came back positive.
Yeah, it came back positive. It said, you know, but also there's another story out there where, you know, people were saying people tested positive and they really negative. So
yeah, they saying that the tests are faulty, and that's where right now.
I know it was a funny, like, it was. I believe that I had COVID because it was a funny, like, flu. Like, it was like flu symptoms, but wasn't flu. It just felt weird. But I didn't feel all the other stuff that other people would be experiencing. But at the same time, I didn't put myself in a situation where I think when people go to the hospitals and things of that nature, and they just basically isolate them, one, you're sticking somebody in the bed so they can't move around. I'm like, that's going to tell your body right there, like, oh, hold up, you know what I'm saying? Well, maybe we don't need you anymore. And then type of food you're giving people, I'm like, it's bad air. I'm like, it's not like it's the best quality air. So I'm like, you have a better chance of just going outside, you know what I'm saying? Just walking around and soaking up the sun, getting the vitamin E, things of that nature.
Yeah, and you know what? When it first happened, and I ain't gonna say when it first happened because it's COVID-19 because they discovered it in 2019.
Yeah.
Now, it didn't hit in the United States until like, what was it, like February or March of this year?
Mm-hmm.
And when it hit, I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling bad.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was the reason. I doubt it was because I wasn't experiencing none of those symptoms, but I was taking all the precautions. I did go to the ER. And I was telling them, you know, the different things that were going on with me. But basically, I set myself down and I was like, look, it's time for a lifestyle change.
Yeah.
It's time for a lifestyle change where I wasn't the most healthy person, but I wasn't the most unhealthy person either. One thing that I do, I love my smoothies.
Yeah.
I have always been a smoothie guy. And right now, I think I have a smoothie 5 days out of a 7-day week.
Yeah, which is great.
Good. You know what I'm saying?
It takes a lot to make a smoothie as far as vegetables and fruits. So that's a lot of servings, whatever. But then that's why I tell people, man, when you drink smoothies and stuff, like my wife, she got mad at me because, like, my 6-pack then came back and out there because I lost weight and stuff. But it's not like I'm not like bony or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
My
you feel,
tone and definition has really came back, and I ain't seen them bad boys in a while.
let me tell you the gift and the curse behind this whole COVID thing. Since COVID, I haven't been to Planet Fitness. You know, they closed down for a while, but they're open.
Yeah.
I have not been in Planet Fitness. I don't work out as much as I used to.
Mm-hmm.
But I've lost a lot of weight and I've toned up good. Like I'm working out at home, but I'm not just pushing myself as like I used to go real hard, but I couldn't get off of the weight. But I noticed I don't eat out as much. Since March, I've only eaten out maybe 14 times. Yes, I've counted. It's about 14 times that I've eaten out. I haven't had a soda since March.
Yeah. And that's all that sugar, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All that processed food, all that sugar. And like, I don't even have like, I think I had a Sprite maybe the other day and I only drunk like maybe half a can.
No, when you taste that Sprite, it's hard to let it go. You ain't drink that half. I know you turned the whole thing.
No, I haven't. Like, the only thing I drink now is I drink water, a lot more water. Now, I do drink sweet tea, but I drink more juices, like natural juices though. Like, or I just be drinking like water and flavor in it or whatever the case may be too. So, or I'll drink like, green stuff like smoothies or whatever, things of that nature. I don't even be looking for like soda like I used to. It's not even like an option anymore. I'll drink a lemonade or something.
When I say I haven't had one soda, I haven't had not one soda. I'm like you. I do the water. I do the tea, which I make my own tea, or I brew my own tea. I should say that. I do the natural juices, and even with my water, I do like a lot of lemon water. Because that's like a form of detoxing and cleansing your body or whatever. But I feel good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's the thing that I feel like I even been going to sleep like earlier because I have to wake. I get up at 5:30 during the week just so I can get everything going. I've even noticed like even with my sleeping and just energy, like waking up and staying up all day and not really having to fall asleep or nothing like that, or wanting to take a nap, but then going to sleep at a decent time, like 9, maybe 10 o'clock, I'm gone. Like at 8 o'clock, my phone just all notifications anyway, 7 days a week. I don't get any of them. I wake up to text messages and stuff.
That's how I am. I try to, and I've been using your CBD oil to help me to get back in the rhythm of going to bed earlier. I want to be in bed by like 9:30, and I want to be asleep by 10:30 at the latest 11. And, I do roadside assistance, but at nighttime, I turn my phone on silent. I put my phone on silent, man, because I'm learning that over the years, I haven't gotten a lot of sleep, and that probably is one of the reasons why. That's one of the factors into why it was hard for me to lose weight. You know what I'm saying? Well, it was days where I felt sluggish, and it would throw my whole day off. Go sleep. But the days that I get sleep, my brain is on 100%. I'm able to rip and run. Like I'm a very on the go type of person. So that sleep is very essential for that. What you put in your body. My doctor
get out of it.
Yep, there you go. Yep. My doctor tells me that all the time. He's like, Mike, it's about what crosses your lips, what goes in and what comes out. And whatever you take in, it needs to be vegetables, it need to be fruit, it need to be vitamins. Like I take multivitamins. I take vitamin D and men's multivitamins every morning. Yeah. There's no day that I skip on that. And I like last night, man, I did my push-ups, my sit-ups, you know what I'm saying? I was supposed to do them this morning, but I woke up kind of late, I ain't gonna lie. And I had to be on the go. But listen, I'm trying to get like you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like when I see you, and I didn't even know that you tested positive for COVID. I didn't.
Yeah, but I didn't get the results till like maybe about a week or so ago. I had to wait on them. I waited pretty much a whole month. But my wife, she was like, yeah, you got COVID. And I was like, nah, no, I don't. She was like, yeah, you walk around, you don't be putting your mask on like all the time like you're supposed to. And like, yes, I was guilty of that. But I'm like COVID for the cook shop has actually helped the cook shop. So I'm of course. We making money because people want to buy stuff or whatever. So I'm out here getting the money, and I'm like, I'm helping building this empire so the kids can have something. So, but I'm like, it's cool. I don't mind people knowing things of that nature. I want people to know that, it is real. So don't treat it like, you know what I'm saying, Like, I'm not gonna go around people who are just
out here being free willy-nilly with it.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been putting on the mask a whole lot more now. I'll be keeping my 6 feet distance. I'll be washing my hands a whole lot more and using hand sanitizers. So, you know, I don't want to give it to nobody because I don't know what it's going to do to them. I don't know if they have the mentality to even like get their body right. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't put nobody in that position.
Whenever I'm out and about, I wear my mask. I take my mask with me everywhere. Even when I go do my work and a customer may not be out there, I still have my mask on because they may come out there to me.
Exactly.
And I try to tell everyone, if you're going to be out there with me, wear a mask. Even when I come in contact with you and we do business, we both have we both have, you know, hold our distance when we talk.
Exactly.
We don't shake hands anymore, you know what I'm saying?
We just bump. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, matter of fact, the last time I met you, you walked up to my car and I was like, hey, let me put my mask on. I looked at you like, hey, you know what I'm saying? But, dude, I know you got stuff going on. Myself, I got stuff going on this afternoon. If you don't mind, tell the people how can they find you on social media? How can they follow you?
Okay, so everybody can find me on Facebook, personal page, Andreas Ryder Cooke. It's not hard to find, but depends on what business you're looking for. You can, you know what I'm saying, you can find a cook shop everywhere. You can find Baked Out Radio Show, Making BFM, Baked Out Music Group. Look out for, I do want to plug Precious. She is an artist that I signed to Baked Out Music Group. So look out for her. Precious Sade, she even got a page on Facebook. Album gonna be rolling out sometime in the spring, so y'all look for that.
As far as finding her on Facebook, spell her name for me. I'm gonna go ahead and try to pull her up.
Her page is Precious, Precious, Sade, Shardae. But yeah, it should pull up her where she's like sitting on the ground or something in like a colorful outfit with shades on, I believe. I think she runs her page. I just look at the stuff. But yeah, she's a new artist signed. She got a nice voice. She got a song, I Don't Want Your Man, that plays on Making BFM right now and working on some new stuff. So she's been to the studio about 3-4 times now. So we're just trying to hammer out in this EP project, and then we're going to come back with the album. But yeah, anybody want to call me, I put my number out there all the time, 478-390-1709. I don't mind people calling, things of that nature, because if I don't answer, I don't have to answer. And then if I get annoyed, I will block you. So I don't care that my number goes out there.
Man, you wild. Man, you wild.
No, for real. Like, hey, it's an option. You know what I'm saying? I like smartphones. Shoot, they do a lot of work for you. If anybody needs to reach the cook shop and call the cook shop, that's 478-250-1244. So if you want to call, inquire about the cook shop, of course, people can go to the page as well. We're online as well. You can order online.
I see on here you got the cook shop, and if you watch this, if this comes across your timeline on YouTube, on Facebook, whatever, you should do like I do. I like the page, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then if they shop now button, yeah, that takes you directly to the website.
And you can get straight to it. And like you say, you got the cook shop. You got Banked Out Radio, which is another one. Y'all can hit them up. You can book them now and do business with them. You said, and I'm a little behind you. I usually have my pages up and going, but we can run it back. You got Precious. That's the young lady you were speaking of, correct?
Yeah, I think that's her personal page, but she got a business page too. So I'll send it to you. It's cool.
Send it to me, man. Send it to me.
Yeah.
You also got Making Bib FM.
Making Bib FM, and people can also listen online too. Making Bib FM. Like, just click that link right there to stream it live. Okay. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff in the works, and there's stuff I haven't even put out there yet. That I'm working on. So like, I'm always constantly, you know what I'm saying, doing stuff. Like, I know some people don't call me because they feel like, oh man, I want to bother him, or he's always busy. Well, I'm always busy. I either got my kids or I'm doing something. But
you're a very busy man. You're a very busy man.
But that's the only way I know how to be, though. You know what I'm saying? So I always got to do something. Like, Now I do have downtime where I watch stuff, but then it gets interrupted by other things, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind the interruption because I don't plan my days anymore. Like I used to plan my days. And when I stopped doing it, I got more like I flow like water now.
You know, I just started doing that where it's like, okay, I'm gonna just go with the flow.
Yeah.
I'm in my 30s, man, and 30-something years of my life, I planned every step along the way, and it never goes how I planned it.
Exactly.
So I learned now, and this is recently, like a few months ago, if you just go with the flow, everything is gonna pan out good.
Yeah, and that's how I look at stuff. Like I just go with the flow with stuff. You know what I'm saying? Whatever becomes a priority at that time, and it just is what it is. Because we all have only 24 hours of the day. Like I tell people all the time, man, we all can make money. We can lose money. We can make it again. The one thing we all got in common is that we all got 24 hours in a day, and can't nobody else get more time. I can't get more time from you. You can't get more time from me. You know what I'm saying? It's just, that's facts. We all got 24 hours. So it's what you do with those. And that's going to determine whether or not, you know what I'm saying, you meet your goals and things of that nature. So, like, just like,
I'm going to cut you off and I'm going to thank you
for
taking 1 hour out your time, or even an hour, 1 hour out of your 24 hours to spend with me, because like you said, what you do within those 24 hours, that's going to determine whether you're going to reach your goals. And this is helping me get to one of my goals, because one thing that I struggle with is networking. I'm like your wife. I'm more behind the scenes. But I want to come out and start showcasing my talent.
You know, I already got you, man. You know what I'm saying? You already see what I do. You gave me 2 problems, and I went ahead and gave you 2 people for them. So, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to the networking, I got you.
I appreciate that. And look, with that being said, man, we're going to stop this thing right here. My man, Mr. Cooke, I appreciate you. Everyone watching and listening to this has been the very first episode of Mike Ryder Talks. And we got a lot more stuff coming. Just bear with me. We're going to get it right. On that note, we out of here.
All right, man.
Appreciate it, dude.